Yes guys, we are back on YouTube with a long form video for the first time in about 10 months. So what's been going on, where I've been? Well, I'm going to give you a bit of an update today as to how things have been going with my training, etc, etc. If you're following my videos before, obviously I ran my first marathon last year in April, I think it was, May, which was Manchester Marathon, and I ran it in a time of 3 hours and 37 minutes, which was slightly slower than my goal of 3:30. But after running on the day with how I felt, I was absolutely over the moon and chuffed. I was able to do something that difficult, my first ever attempt. I was very happy with the time, and I said to myself, I was never going to run a marathon ever again. From the last 10k, it was so uncomfortable and painful that I said to myself, I'm never doing this again. And it took me a while. It took me a good while, because April last year was what, about 19-20 months ago. It took me a while, but after having a break from running last year, getting back into it at the start of this year, things have changed, and I've got another marathon coming up in April next year, and it's going to be a special one for several reasons. Firstly, because it's not in this country, and it's the first ever race that I'm going to be doing in a different country, and it's going to be in Milan. I believe it is the 12th of April, so that's very exciting. And the second reason why it's exciting is because I've also got my family coming out, flying out to watch me do it, which I didn't have before, apart from my dad. Obviously, my dad came to support me, but to have my whole family there this time in different countries is going to make it so much more special. And the third reason is that I'm not going for 3:30 this time. I'm trying to shave 38 minutes off my PB and do the unimaginable crazy goal that I never thought I'd even consider doing in my whole lifetime, which is to try and run a sub 3-hour marathon. Now, taking 38 minutes off your sole marathon time is no easy feat. However, I've made absolute leaps and bounds of progress with my running in the last 6, 7, 8 months or so this year, and particularly the last few months, to the point where I feel like it's now becoming a realistic goal. So what's been going on with me? Obviously, 2, 3, 4 years ago, I was absolutely obsessed with the gym, going 6, 7 days a week, sometimes not even having a rest day. Mostly focusing on calisthenics, also doing bodybuilding, lifts, free weights, machines, and I got an amazing shape, you know. I think it takes like 2 or 3 years to finally see the real true progress in your physique. That makes people start thinking that you might be taking something, you know. The first year you can see great gains, second year obviously make good improvements, and after 3 or 4 years, like, you just start looking and feeling amazing. But it got to the point where 2, 3, 4 years go by in the gym, and you start to get a little bit bored doing the same things. It gets quite repetitive. You see less and less progress with diminishing returns on your effort, and that's when I found running, obviously. And I'm at the point now in my life where instead of going to the gym 6, 7 days a week, I'm going to the gym twice a week. And again, young me, young Jack, 14, 15-year-old Jack, who is still like an athletic kid. I was a sporty kid. I played football 3, 4 days a week. Still could never imagine I'd be now in a position where I'm running 6 days a week, every single week, which is just crazy. I'll leave something on the screen right now showing my recent training schedule. But the consistency that I've done with my running recently has just been crazy, and I'm reaping the benefits. So I did post a short a few months ago with my last race, which was in Swansea half marathon in June, and my target was to run a sub 90 half marathon, and I did just that. I ran 1:29:46, holding pace all up to the last couple of kilometers, quickened up nicely and emptied the tank to get under that target, and I was over the moon. Followed the training plan of runner religiously. I think I missed 1 or 2 runs purely because of illness, and absolutely smashed it. You know, I was quite overwhelmed with emotion doing that, because I never thought I could run that kind of pace for that distance. 4:14 per kilometre for half marathon. I was very, very proud of myself. Since then, what's happened is I'm no longer using a runner, but I've actually got myself a running coach. And starting off with him, to be quite honest, things were quite boring, because the vast majority of it was easy, slow-paced runs. So I was on 5 days a week at the start running. 4 of those were easy recovery, zone 2 runs, and only had one proper session, which was my opportunity to build fitness. Obviously, they're very difficult, but I enjoyed them. I want the challenge. I want to be challenged. I want to get fitter. So doing these repetitive, slow runs was quite boring for the first 2 months, I think it was. And then gradually the intensity upped, a bit more volume, more intensity, went up to 1.5 sessions. And now for the last almost 2 months, I think it is, I've been on 2 sessions a week and 6 days a week total of running. But it's just crazy because honestly, so many days in the week now, I get home from work and I really don't want to run. It's, it's dark, it's cold, it's often wet, and I have to go out and run, otherwise I'm going to lose fitness. And I'm so obsessed with this running thing. It's like a game. It's like your body and your mind is the engine. It's like you're a race car driver, like I'm Lewis Hamilton. I put the work in the training. I'm building my engine physically and also mentally, my mental toughness. So when it comes to race day, I'm in optimum condition and perfectly prepared to execute on what I've been training for. It's just crazy to think back again to, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago when I would go for a run. I think it was a few weeks ago. I took it from my Strava, and on Strava you can search like locations for where you've run. When I used to live in Oxford, and I was losing weight, and I was trying to get into running. Looking back at my runs, I was running like 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers at a time, and just completely gassing out. And it's just crazy to look back to then. And also, I was living in Devon. I lived in Paynton, tried to get into running there as well, and I was doing these 3 kilometer runs. And just to compare that to where we are today, with this week just completed, it's now 10 p.m. on Sunday. I've just completed my highest ever mileage week of 71 kilometers this week, which absolutely baffles me, which is averaging over 10 kilometers a day, every single day of running, which, Jack from 2 3 years ago never could imagine I'd been in this position, where the furthest I've ever run in my life is 5 kilometers, once every few years, for like a fun park run or whatever. So it's just crazy to really think about the progress you can make when you're so obsessed with something. You put the time and effort, and you break through that first initial period of hating something, and it becomes a bit easier, a bit more enjoyable. And everyone that knows me, that's close to me, that I talk to, knows how obsessed I am with running now. It's just another level of fulfillment, satisfaction, drive, and purpose. Chasing times, chasing goals, but also how it makes you feel, and just doing hard things. I've got 2 sessions a week now. Both of them are horrendous. Even if they're zone 3, zone 4, zone 5 efforts, it's extremely uncomfortable. Like, it's not easy. And I just turn up and do it every single time without questioning it, because I know it's going to make me fitter, it's going to make me faster and mentally tougher. And on race day, that's all going to pay off. So enough waffling, Jack. What does all this mean? Gone down a bit of a history history road there. But my next race is in 13 days. It'll be a week on Saturday, and then I'm going to be running the Dorney Lake Half Marathon in Windsor. And I'm aiming to take 5 minutes off my PB again and run 1:24 or something, which again, this time is just like crazy. I think I ran my first ever half marathon in Bath back in October 2023 in 1:44. Today it is a long run, a half marathon long run, in the exact same time, but it was just a zone 2 effort, average heart rate of 150 beats per minute. So it's just crazy, the progress, man. I'm now looking to run 1:24 something, which would be incredible. I'm on track for that. I think my chances are greater than 50% of running that. Dorney Lake is a very flat track. However, it's very exposed to the wind, so it could be quite windy on the day. It could be a headwind on one straight and tailwind and back the other way, so I've got to be careful with pacing. But again, going to go over a plan with my coach for that. This is not my A race, guys. This is not my A race. This is my B race, my benchmark, because, as I said, my number one goal, my dream, is to run a sub 3-hour marathon in April next year. So if I can start that block after this race with a half marathon PB of 1:24:59 or quicker, I think I can put me in a very nice position to give myself the best chance possible over my next 16 weeks of building, obviously, the distance and endurance in my long runs. My total mileage as well is going to go up to 95 kilometers per week. And just strengthen my efficiency at those aerobic and tempo paces, so that 4 minutes 13 per kilometer feels extremely comfortable. But again, April 2026 is what, it's 5 months away. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. But yeah, this is just an update from me, how things are going. I massively reduced my gym volume, still going 2 days a week because I don't want to turn into a skinny bastard. I want to keep all my muscle because it took me so long to build it. I know I feel like I look amazing. I love how I look. I don't want that to change. Obviously, as I increase my mileage even more in marathon training, there's a chance that I'm going to start losing some muscle, which I haven't yet. Amazingly, somehow I'm only going to the gym twice a week and running 6 days a week, 65 plus kilometers a week. I look the same, and physically I can't see any muscle loss, and my strength and gained in the gym have always stayed the same. I haven't lost any strength in my weighted pull-ups, my free weight exercises as well, which is staggering me, to be honest. I'm just making sure that I'm obviously eating enough calories, eating enough protein, recovering well, I'm timing everything effectively. Obviously prioritizing the running. I'm never going to do a lift before I run. It's going to be on my rest day, which is a run day, or after I run, because that's a priority, isn't it? This is what I'm obsessed with now. The gym is now secondary to running, which again is crazy me to say that I'm now a runner who lifts. That's how I would identify myself as, rather than a lifter who runs. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We've got this race in 13 days, which I'm so excited for, but I'm so ready for the pain that I'm going to endure. It's going to be painful. It's going to be so uncomfortable, especially the last 5 kilometers, especially if there's some really strong headwind in certain parts of the course. But I'm ready for it. I put the work in. I'm feeling as fit as I ever have been. And yeah, man, I just can't wait. I just love that race day feeling, and the buzz you get is unbelievable. So yeah, as soon as we finish that race, obviously a couple of days to recover, and then it's straight on it with the marathon training, which I am slightly shitting myself for, because I remember just how taxing mentally, physically it was doing that last year for Manchester. And even then I was only running 3 or 4 days a week, but I've got my coach now, Bob. He's an insane runner. He runs a 66 minute half marathon. I'm done the slow, smart approach, which is building my weekly mileage up slowly, not rushing me into something that's too intense and too much for me too quickly. We're doing it a smart way, build it up slowly, and I'm now at a point where I'm running 65 kilometers a week, and I have very little fatigue in my legs. I'm feeling fairly fresh. Not perfect, obviously, because race day is coming up, but I'm peaking at just the right time. And now I'm going into a full marathon training block with months of 65 kilometers in my legs, and obviously, hopefully, a big half marathon personal best. So I'm going to be going to the start of that block in a better position, really. But yeah, I'm waffling now. I'm waffling, as you can tell. I'm very passionate about this. It's basically all I think about at the moment, which is a bit depressing, really. I'm not sure if I have no life or running is my life. It's probably one of those. But either way, I'm going to keep running. It's just given me so much purpose. But yeah, first video in a while. We'll wrap it up there. Some kind of race day video up or something. Either long form like this or some kind of short, YouTube short. Easier, isn't it? But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very happy with where I am right now with my training. I'm eating really well. 2, I'm gonna get to eat more food as well, which is a good thing. When I start training for my marathon and I'm burning more calories, eating even more food, which is always a good thing. I love my food so much. This is the perfect lifestyle for me, because I love eating and I love running, so I can just do both, and they both complement each other. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys. It's been good to chat again. Hope you're well. Hope you're keeping well, and hopefully we can talk again soon with another video. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but I'm thinking when I finish this race, I'm going to do a road to sub 3, little series on YouTube, with a few videos leading up to my big race in Milan in April. That'd be cool. So yeah, let me know if you want to see that. Any comments below. have a go at me for saying Jack, you're waffling, whatever you want. Just leave a comment below, give it a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more to follow the journey. I'm just an average guy who's been to the gym, footballer when I'm younger, trying to get good at running. And yeah, join the journey if you want to follow along. So cheers, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.